What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Well, we finally got some news drop here on the upcoming Summon Rush event that's happening midweek. So today's Monday. We're having a Summon Rush event happening on Tuesday, going through until Wednesday. And like I said in the previous video, talking about the current Prism Shard event, this Summon Rush is very peculiar in its placement in the early half of the week. Usually Summon Rush Champion Chase usually happens at the end of the week, but we now have more details on this Summon Rush and what we're going to be expecting in it. So here we go. This is the announcement from Plarium officially stating what will be happening during the Summon Rush in about 24 hours. So we got 2 days worth of progressive events. So the progressive events is a 15x chance on a particular champion of your choice. So here are the champions for day one. Day one, we have Sisia Flametongue. Sisia Flametongue is probably super well known, especially for Spider, and recently also very strong for Hydra. She brings the weekend decreased defense and an AoE HP burn activator. Very good with Rathalos, which was a login champion not too long ago near the beginning of the year. So very good champion. She's a little bit squishy in her base stats, so maybe a little bit hard to keep alive, so you do need some better gear, but very good champion. After that, we do have Herndig, which is a damage dealer. He was an old fusion back in the day. I remember this guy carried me for a long time when I first got him. But he's a really cool damage dealer. He brings some turn meter manipulation, some HP burns. He brings AoE decreased defense, decreased accuracy. He doesn't hit insanely hard with his AoE, but his single target's quite good. His base attack's not insane or anything for a damage dealer, so that's why his overall power is not as strong, but he's great for Dark Fae, for example. After that, we have Ragash, one of the best spirit-based damage dealers. He's not mythical or anything like that, but he's one of the best spirit-based damage dealers from the Shadowkin faction. He self-buffs. He has an A1 that self-buffs himself, increased defense. He has a team buff, increased speed, perfect veil. And then he has a passive, which is super annoying, that places perfect veil on the ally with the highest attack. So he could protect your attack-based damage dealer, for example. He has a really strong AoE that AoE stuns and decreased defense. It's really strong, but for a damage dealer, he does put himself at risk of being sheeped in arena. But yeah, he's very strong, very tanky, very hard to kill, and he can do some good damage as well. After that, we're looking at Ghostborn from the Dark Elves. So Ghostborn from the Dark Elves here. I personally use this champion a lot. He's in all my Seer teams because he brings the irresistible decreased defense and increased attack, which actually gets adds a buff for Seer to strip off to make her deal a bit more damage. So Ghostborn brings the AoE decreased defense that's irresistible. He doesn't need accuracy for this, but he does need accuracy for his heal reduction and decreased defense, so his A1. Otherwise, I don't really see him get used too much, even in niche cases. But he does bring this very unique ability that I don't believe another champion has, the AoE decreased defense with the irresistible. I'm not too sure, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong there. After that, for the voids up for grabs, we have Big Mama Acrizia here. Big Mama for Hydra damage, that is. Enemy max HP slam, enemy max HP slam, enemy max HP slam. Passive, enemy max, no, just kidding, but she does hit super hard against the Hydra. Every one of her hits hit extremely hard with the enemy max HP. One of the best damage dealers for Hydra if Hydra wasn't dominated by champions like Trunda and Yannicka Shields and all that crazy stuff that's going on with Hydra Clash. But anyways, Acrizia, super good void legendary there. After that, we have Skinwalkers as our other void champion. Coronar, not somebody that I want to see pop out a void shard and take my mercy, unfortunately. He could be good for progression because he's actually, he's got insane base stats, base HP. He brings some AoE provoke, some crowd control, AoE on A1, so you can put him in a stun set or something else to give him more crowd control. He could be a provoker for your Hydra team as well. And then he also brings the decrease defense, decrease attack. Overall, not an insane void legendary, but definitely still can find some use. After that, on day 2, we have a different set of progressive champions. We're looking at Theodore, the Savant. Theodore is still very good for a lot of dungeon content. He brings the poison activation, poison and HP burn activation actually. So it's always, we always forget sometimes that he brings the HP burn activation, but he does do that as well. The increased speed here as well, and then decreased speed on the A1. Very good champion still. He can solo. Personally, I use him to solo Dragon 8 on hard with 4 food. But lately I've paired, I basically haven't been, I use him in my speed dragon hard team. But lately I pulled him out of some teams. He is in my spider hard team as basically a poison exploder, but he can be replaced there. So his value has definitely dropped off for me personally, but if you're still progressing through the game, he's an incredible pull. After that, we have Countess Lix from the Demon Spawns. I recently just built mine and I put her to use, and I use her in a special team with Trunda, basically for her attack plus reset cooldown reduction ability. She also brings very important decreased speed and very good against Hydra in this way, and a little bit of damage to support on my Trunda team as well. So the A1 weekend as well here. Not somebody that I would instantly 60 depending on your roster, but she has finally found a place on my roster and is being used in my team with Trunda. So definitely happy to have her on my roster at least. After that, we have Kantra from Barbarian. So Kantra was a super old fusion, I think. She brings AoE every debuff here, but the thing is, it's random. A lot of these debuffs are insanely good for Hydra, block buffs, decreased speed, for example, even decreased accuracy, decreased attack. Very good debuffs against Hydra. She's actually a very good Hydra champion because her passive gives him an AoE basically provoke just for taking a turn, 75% chance, and it's actually very good for like auto teams for Hydras, for example. So if you have her, make sure you guys put her to use in Hydra. If you guys need an AoE provoker, she is solid for that role. After that, we have Astralon from the Sacred Order here. Astralon was an old fusion as well. When I got Astralon, I used him for a long time as my arena nuker. He has incredible base attack, but his AoE is not super strong in terms of multipliers. He does bring a AoE stun, which is kind of interesting. So you could build him with accuracy to get some of his stuns off. He does bring a little bit of a counter to like Veil champions like Duchess, for example. He has something weird with his passive where he gives them some extra turn meter, so you have to be careful about this if you use him in like arena speed tune teams, for example. AoE decrease defense on A1 decrease defense on his A1. And his single target hit is super strong, neglecting all of these buffs effects. Basically another counter to somebody like Necrit. But yeah, those are going to be the non-void legendaries. After that, for the void options, we have Skinwalkers here. We have Leorius. I do have Leorius. His base stats are not incredible for an attack-based damage dealer, but obviously it's to offset his really good passive where he gains power based on how much HP he has left, and then because he has an unkillable on himself, he can basically go down to like 1 HP and be like full power. Once he's at full power, he is very strong. He can't be crowd controlled. You can see here this champion is immune to all sorts of crowd control if this ability is not on cooldown, so you use this one first and then you use this one after. Very good champion still. He's kind of like a jacked up Skull Crown, and Skull Crown is very solid in arena. But obviously he doesn't ignore defense or anything like that, and he doesn't hit hard enough, I think, in high end arena, but very good champion still. After that, we have Ethos, another champion that basically suffers similar setback as Leorius. He doesn't hit hard enough. Ethos has a very nice base attack. He has AoEs everywhere. He has extra turn mechanics, but he just doesn't hit hard enough. He doesn't ignore any defense or anything like that, or ignore any buffs. He really needs something like that, maybe on this ability, Extinguish Life. Yeah, he just needs to be, he needs something else. I love Ethos because his attack animation is really fast. He's a great campaign farmer because of that. He's great nightmare farmer, for example. The AoEs are great for blowing up waves in various content like Doom Towers, like speed through Doom Tower or whatever. But you know, he doesn't hit hard enough for arena, so he's not going to be super relevant there. And if you want to build him out, he's mostly going to be, you know, lower end arena or maybe some wave content. He's going to help you clear faction wars really fast, but other than that, he is lacking a lot of damage. All right, guys, so now we have all the info coming up for the next couple days for the summon rush. I really want you guys to be extra careful. I did stress this in the earlier video. I really want you guys to be extra careful around this Prism Crystal summon rush event. To me, this 15x progressive is not juicy enough to pull shards just to get a Prism Crystal to have a chance to pull into this pool. It's definitely not worth it in terms of what you have to put up to get this, most likely. Because if you can imagine this is a sacred shard, I would imagine this would be at the very least 6, maybe 3,000 points in the summon rush. So I would say at least 6 sacred shards to get the one pull. And who knows if it's going to be one pull? It might only be 20 crystals, or maybe they do multiple 20 crystals or multiple 10 crystals. Who knows what they're going to do? But personally, I wouldn't. I would be extra careful, and I wouldn't be too gung-ho about spending shards just to get a Prism Crystal to gamble on this Prism Crystal event. So to me, this is a pass. I'm going to go for the Champion Training Crystal and then just be done with it. The pool is juicy and Plarium knows it, and they're going to leverage this against the player base to make us super mega FOMO. Like I said, guys, in the previous video, there is most likely going to be something massive dropping on Friday. My guess is it's going to be probably a Titan event, maybe a condensed Titan event that's going to start on Friday. So definitely be aware of all this. But if you guys are gambling on the 15x progressive, best of luck on that. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are planning to do. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going to happen on Friday and this weekend. I think something juicy is going to happen, but we will see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.